So this is the season in the church where we celebrate death and resurrection. It was God's plan to have Jesus' death and resurrection, and we're each individually living God's plan. I believe deaths or disappointments lead to new life and new hope. I believe that Jesus as God in human form was the example of experiencing life and suffering, just like we experience life and sufferings. And he is with us now at each little death, each little disappointment. He's there to lead us and push us and sometimes force us to love us into life again and again. In 2009, I think of that as my death time, led to the resurrection and the renewal of life. So I'm telling the story today, 5 years old in this new life. I grew up in a loving, devout Catholic home. I knew I was wanted and loved and protected and safe. It was a positive, loving life. And I went off to college and I married a kind and gentle man. And on our 1-year anniversary, I fell pregnant. 1 year, 9 months after being married, had Emily. And so far it was all, God's plan's easy. But that was transactional knowledge. It wasn't tested. It wasn't real knowledge of God. It was a little bit easy to have Emily 1 year into marriage, and all through our marriage, wanted that other baby. Sarah and Elizabeth in the Bible, they could pray. I prayed and I went through doctors, nothing. Until, ironically, our 20th wedding anniversary. And I fell pregnant again. So what was going on? I was 44 years old. Emily was 18. Okay. The prayer was answered then, I guess. Christmas Eve 2009, celebrating with family, Emily's friends, big dinner, all of us there. And I wasn't feeling too well. 11 weeks pregnant, not feeling well, went to the emergency room, and by Christmas morning, I'd had a miscarriage, no baby. So then I started doubting that ease of living God's plan. Why now? Why would he have me be pregnant to have that baby die? And what lesson was I supposed to learn? What was that purpose for me to go through that? It wasn't about me in hindsight. A few weeks healing, talking, living with this new reality, my husband came to me and explained that the pregnancy, the thought of the baby, the miscarriage, our emotions, it had given him some courage to stop this life we were living and what he considered living a lie. And it gave him courage to explain he was gay. He'd always been gay. And we needed to end our marriage. I went from that life of being wanted, loved, protected, safe, positive. And in this death of the baby, it actually led to the death of our marriage, death of friendships, lifestyle, plans, our family unit, our dreams, our home. But again, with the beauty of hindsight, now I know God was perfectly, brilliantly, he's genius in these little deaths and disappointments and big deaths and disappointments that I was experiencing. Because I did live through it. I lived. Emily lived. She had to work it out too. Her dad lived. Those tears led to prayers, led to new decisions. And about that time when I was living in this city now. Emily was here with me, trying to make a new life. A friend said to me, how exciting for me to be able to live a resurrection moment, that I had 45 years in one life. And as a person in this day and age, I'm going to have 45 more years in a new life after this. I can see the joy in the continued trials and tribulation, because that will give me maturity of faith and capacity for faith in anything. From 2009, now I'm, in this church family. 2012, John married Randy and I here in the sanctuary. Emily's now married. Her dad is now living an authentic life without that deceit, which is a joy in itself. That must have been a very difficult life for him. We have different lives, but they're better lives. I'm living fully. God's with me. He's with us. He's with each of you in real life. The deaths, the disappointments, and the joys. That's the proof that there's a death and resurrection in Jesus. There's a resurrection in each of us too.